Flood Protection Secrets, the podcast to the protection against heavy rain and flooding by Dr. Flood, Andreas Klippe.
So the big challenge is, how can house owners like you and me get a flood-free home? How can business managers like you and me get a flood-free company? And how can public servants provide flood-free critical infrastructure and livable cities?
Flood Protection Secrets, the podcast by Dr. Flood, Andreas Klippe. This podcast is for foresighted and proactive people who do not want to shovel the muddy water out of their room while standing in the midst of the disaster.
Therefore, those who design and plan, the architects and engineers, need to construct such buildings and cities, and that even when the entire environment is completely flooded. That is a challenge, and this podcast will give the answers.
Flood Protection Secrets, the podcast by Dr. Flood, Andreas Klippe.
Welcome back, listeners. You know, they say the fish starts to stink from the head, and it's not any different when laying the foundation for flood protection. Let's break ground on this concept, starting with the blueprint, not with the kitchen tiles or the color of the drapes. Just like building a home, we don't start with the appliances or interior decorations. We start with the foundation. In flood protection, this means assessing your property's risk and understanding the environment, much like surveying the land before construction begins. Once you have a foundation, you erect the framework, setting up the structure for what will become your home's defense against water. This framework in flood protection involves selecting the right barriers and ensuring they are suited to withstand the pressures they'll face. Let's go back to the construction of a house. Before the walls are up and the roof is on, we need to ensure the essentials are in place. Plumbing, electrical and HVAC, the heating, ventilation and air conditioning. In a house and for flood protection, the operational systems that will keep those barriers functional when needed them most. Lastly, it's about the finishing touches, the landscaping that not only beautifies but also protects your home by directing water away. In flood defense, it's ensuring the small but critical elements like seals and locks are ready to stand guard. Building a house is an organized, logical sequence of events, and so is preparing your home for a flood. We start from the ground up, ensuring every layer is solid, every decision is sound, and the final product is something that not only looks good but will stand the test of time and nature. In flood protection, as in construction, skipping steps or starting from the wrong end can lead to disastrous results. So my advice is plan wisely, build step by step and create a flood defense that's as reliable as a home you've built for your family. The fish starts to stink from the head. Constructing your flood defense, that was a title for today. Blueprinting your flood protection with precision and care. I hope it is understandable. And if you're ready to take the lead in protecting your home from floods, keep listening and don't hesitate to reach out. Subscribe to the podcast, Flood Protection Secrets, or contact flood experts in their Asian headquarters in the Philippines, or contact me directly. Just Google Andreas Klippe. Stay safe and flood free, and tune in next time for more flood protection insights. I wish and hope for you that you make the right decisions when it comes to your personal flood protection. And if you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe to this podcast channel if you haven't already. Now it only remains for me to wish you a good day. Do something with it. Maybe until the next podcast episode. I would be very happy. See you then. As always, stay safe and flood-free. Your Andreas Klippe and the whole Flood Experts team.
That's it again with the new episode of Flood Protection Secrets, the podcast by Dr. Flood Andreas Klippe, German engineer, book author, and head of the Flood Experts. What can Dr. Flood Andreas Klippe protect for you? Anytime? Worldwide? Contact us or just click through to www.floodexperts.de/bonus. Detailed engineering, German quality, safe. Flood protection secrets. The secrets you'll want to unfold.
Don't forget, you're only one flood barrier away.
Subscribe to the season, and you'll never be late for an episode.